You're listening to The Parallel Paths, a podcast designed to elevate your mind, body, and spirit so that you can get everything you want out of life. The only question is, are you ready? All right, welcome back to the Parallel Paths podcast. I'm your co-host, Dr. Mikhael Moor.
Hey, congratulations to Dr. Mikhael Moor as well, but I'm your other co-host, Blair McClendon.
Yes, and we have a very special guest here from Oakland, Mikhael. So go ahead and introduce yourself to our guests and let us know a little bit about your background.
Thank you. Give thanks. Yes, I'm brother Mikhael. I'm from out in Oakland, California, and currently right now I'm out visiting in LA. I came out here for a mushroom cultivation workshop, and also to make some connections and to spread peace and light. I've been on my path and journey of health and wellness for 10 years, and within me being on my path and journey of health and wellness, I've come across a lot of information about plant-based food, stones and crystals. Working with plant medicine and ceremonies and rituals, doing a lot of cultivation with the earth, and just traveling, connecting with our people, trying to bring our people closer together. So I'm a plant-based healer and a plant-based chef too as well. I like to cook a lot of alkaline plant-based foods and into crystal jewelry and a lot of other crystal healing products that I offer for my business. So I have a crystal healing business called Exclusive Magic. Also have an alkaline plant-based catering service called Black Sea Cuisine. And I'm a part of a collective out in Oakland called Raw Soul Collective. So we do a lot of events, do a lot of free catering and food giveaways for the community. And it's a part of a cooperative movement out in Oakland as well. I'm a worker owner at Mandela's Grocery Cooperative too. It's a Black-owned grocery store in Oakland. So just in many fields and sectors of health and wellness, I try to be involved to help our people be as healthy and conscious as possible.
Woo! Yes, thank you. And
for sure. That definitely deserves a round of applause. And I don't know if you can see it on Makita and I's face, but I mean, that's everything I've been on the past few years, and Makita as well. So just trying to bring the health consciousness to our community. And I'm plant-based myself. Everything that you mentioned, from the crystals to the shrooms and the herbs and all that type of stuff, that's right down my alley. So I'm looking forward to this conversation and diving deeper with you for sure.
Solid.
Yeah. And Mikhael and we actually met a couple of nights ago. He was down here with a group of friends for the Londrell concert. I don't know who Londrell is. Definitely check him out. Was that your first time hearing about him?
That was my first time going to a show of his. I've been listening to his music for like the last 5 years, and it's really been helping me on my path healing. He's a great artist, speaking about just self-healing. Definitely uplifts divine masculine energy, divine feminine energy, and he speaks about just a higher consciousness on the earth. So I resonate with all that, and it was a blessing to cross paths with him and everybody in that room. It was very powerful to be in that vortex of energy, and I look forward to more connections like that.
Yeah. So, yep. It's beautiful. It's beautiful because it brought us here to where we are,
Yes.
And things like this, just when they happen, it's so beautiful to just take them in and to acknowledge them. So
sure.
Tell us a little bit about how you got to where you're at. Like, what's your background growing up? Did you grow up in Oakland?
I grew up in the Bay Area. I was born in Sacramento, but my mother and father are from Oakland and San Francisco. So I kind of been traveling and moving a lot of places throughout my life. And but I did go to school out in Richmond, California, and I played basketball in high school and also in college. So I have an athletic background for majority of my younger years. But as I got a little bit older and I didn't make it professionally into sports, I started to pursue just a career into like a sports analyst and doing journaling and writing for sports columns. But after a while, I started dealing with some health issues, and that's really started my path of being a healer, was healing myself. So in 2012, I went through just some real bad health issues, and I had to figure out what was going on to me. I went to the hospital. I didn't get any kind of answers, any kind of results. So I went on a path of learning about this plant-based healing, about herbs and crystals and different natural elements to heal the body. So I went through the process of healing myself, and that process of healing myself, just my consciousness, my elevation raised as well. And I started to get a deeper sense of who I was and this knowledge of self. And I knew I had a deeper path of destiny just of this living. So I started doing a lot of spiritual practices to figure out, my gifts and my powers. And within that, I started to meet like-minded people who helped to elevate me and mold me as well. And through all that, I came to find out that, I have a destiny to help connecting people and help liberate and uplift melanated people on the planet, and also to help ascend the consciousness on the planet. So that's what I've been on the path of the last 10 years, is healing myself. And now I'm at a point where I'm able to teach and help to facilitate healing with others.
Man, man. I went through a similar situation, getting sick in 2013, and that's what led me to self-healing and everything that I'm doing now. So to take it back to your situation, how long was it in your process of being sick? Did it take for it to click? Like, Western medicine isn't the solution. I'm gonna have to start doing some research on my own.
Right. I would say throughout my lifetime, I had like kind of doubts about, Western medicine, and just a lot of practices out here in Western society, and especially us being Black and melanated people. We go through a lot of stuff with the medical system. So just by growing up, I seen I was having a lot of skin issues, like acne growing up, and they say like acne is something that is supposed to be normal, but I think that's something that's caused through the hormones, through the body after we eat certain things in our younger ages, that builds up to certain conditions of the body. So I was already dealing with like some skin issues growing up, and I was already questioning like all these different products that they're giving us to clear these things up. It was actually making my skin a lot more worse, and I think that led to other issues on my body too. So I seen that when I was going to the hospital after I stopped playing basketball, that the treatments I was getting, it wasn't the same, because when we played sports, and I played college and I played a little bit professionally overseas in China, they give you like better like treatments and better ways of doing medical work. But after I stopped playing basketball and I started going to like regular hospitals and started doing treatments at the clinics, it wasn't no kind of help that they were giving me. So I had to figure out what was going wrong with myself though.
Makes sense. Was there any particular people that you leaned on? I know in my case, I learned a lot from Dr. Laila Africa and Dr. Sabia, of course. But was there anybody who influenced you along your path?
I would say those names in particular too, but the person that really sparked me on my path was a brother named by Professor Griff. Y'all familiar with Professor Griff? Yeah. Absolutely. So he was a brother that really helped to have me aware of a lot of these people that we're talking about, because just by him being an elder and being immersed in the conscious community out there in New York, he had a lot of connections with people. So I used to follow his information, and I used to reach out to him, and he would start to tell me about these different teachers that had a lot of information about health and wellness, like you said, like Dr. Laila Africa, and really Bobby Hemming and Dr. Phil Valentine. Are y'all familiar with those brothers?
Yeah. Those are two of my favorite people in the conscious community, period. Yeah, for sure.
So those are like some of my my spiritual elder teachers. Like I met Phil Valentine once, and I haven't met Bobby Hemming, but honestly, when I used to tap into the information, I used to get a lot of dreams and a lot of just like downloads about different things, and it helped to expand my awareness about other people. And I finally started getting information about Dr. Sabian, and that's what really helped to change my life, because when I started eating more electric and more alkaline, just my thoughts started to increase, and just my body felt a lot more energetic, and I was able to do a lot more and think a lot more clear. So I would say that some of my biggest teachers are Bobby Hemmett, Dr. Phil Valentine, Laila Africa, also Dr. Deborah Blair. It was another great influence in my life. Taught me a lot about metaphysics, and a lot about just how to use the stones and the crystals energetically to heal. And I can go down a whole list of our great teachers, but those are just some. Yeah.
Awesome.
Beautiful. When you said downloads, why do you use the term downloads? What does that mean?
Well, I believe that we all got connection to, it's called the Akashic Records, what a lot of ancient people call it. It's like a records of all the information, all the experiences that ever happened on the planet. And when you go deep into meditation, when you go deep into nature and you start to tap into more of a source information, then you will start to get these downloads. Just like how a computer can get a download of information. When you connect with the earth, you connect with the elements and spirit and, you know, like your ancestors, and you do spiritual work, you will start to get downloads of information that is called for you to receive. And then when you receive that information, it's up to you to share it with other people so we all can receive information, because information is vast and limitless. We shouldn't have to read hella books and stuff, you know, to get information. We can just sit at the feet of each other and exchange information like we always done.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And that's something I try to tell. I work with a lot of kids in a mental health center, and I try to tell them like why meditation is so important, why being in nature. I'm like, anything you're trying to do, get better at, whether it's school, especially for my kids who do music, I'm like, if you just meditate or you get outside in nature, like you will receive so much inspiration. Like, you know, whenever I'm running, like whenever I feel like I have a creative energy block, I'll just go for a run. I'll just be present, looking at the trees, and I'll just like have to stop, and I'll keep getting ideas.
Right,
So,
right.
yep.
That's what's up.
For sure.
Beautiful.
And I was gonna say, one thing that you touched on was healing with crystals. Can you talk to our audience a little bit more about maybe a couple of your favorite crystals that you've used along your own healing journey?
Yeah, so when I was young, me and my mother, we used to go to the Sacramento River, and we would collect a lot of different rocks and stuff that that looked nice and that called and resonated with us. So I used to take the rocks and stones and put them in my windowsill and just like collect them. And as I got a little older, you know, honestly, people used to make fun of me for, you know, having stones and crystals on me and stuff. And I stopped, you know, kind of working with them. But as I got on my path of healing and doing the sciences, they were saying how the stones and crystals got a lot of minerals in it, and how they come straight from the earth, and they've been in the earth for thousands of years, and they got a lot of information on them too. So they were saying that, you know, if you use them around you in your aura field, and helps to cleanse up like different type of energies in your aura. It also helps to bring in higher frequencies, so you can vibrate higher and you can naturally heal yourself like that. So I would take the stones and crystals and charge them in the sun, and then I would take them and I'll meditate with them, and I'll meditate on things I wanted to clear, what I wanted to heal, what I wanted to receive and bring to me. And over time, the crystals will help me to attract these things to me. And they're very magnetic too as well. You can use them to set intentions for yourself. You can use them to help yourself to remember things. And I also use them in baths too as well. I would take spiritual baths with them. I would take the stones and crystals and line them up to the different 7 chakras, and, you know, put them to my different 7 chakras, and I'll just have them in the bath with me. And over time, you can feel the energy. And it's a very healing practice that I use to this day to bring me great positive energy.
Wow.
Oh,
Definitely gonna have to start doing that. Definitely. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
for sure.
What would you say as far, I know you talked about like psychedelics, and I know you're kind of into that. What role has like psychedelics and mushrooms played in healing? Because I know that's actually a new thing that's come into the field of psychology. I mean, it's been there, but it's
Right.
getting more popularized. So using like psychedelic mushrooms for actual like healing in the therapeutic setting.
Right. Well, I started getting into working with plant medicines 7 years ago, and it's something that has been around me on my path. Like when I was young, I would see some of the kids in high school, you know, do like mushrooms and acid and stuff, and to me, it was just kind of weird. You know, I was like, you know, it wasn't something that I felt called to do at that moment. But when I started getting on my path of healing and getting the information of how the plant medicines are teachers and they're healers, and they can help your consciousness and awareness, I was like, you know what, well, let me get deeper into this. But I started to study about it first. I studied about psychedelics for like 3 years before I tapped into them. So I've been on my path for 10 years. In the first 3 years, I was doing a lot of studying. And within that studying, you know, psychedelics always kept coming up. And I was like, okay, well, let me look deeper into this. And as I was looking into it, I was coming to find out that a lot of ancient and indigenous cultures use plant medicines for ceremony, for rituals. and they use them in a sacred way. So I said, okay, well, let me start to, find a way to attract these things to me, because I wouldn't trust anybody with this, because I wanted to be sacred with it. So a friend of mine who done it in Oakland, he introduced me to another one of his friends who was selling it, and she was a cool sister, and I ended up getting some from her, and me and my friend had an experience, and it was just the most divine experience I had when I tapped in with mushrooms for the first time. Very introspective about myself. A lot of stuff in my lifetime came up, and a lot of things that I knew that I needed to heal from came up. So I went through the process of healing deeper when I started working with the mushrooms, and also getting a deeper sense of who I was on a higher consciousness, like my higher self, where I came from, and my destiny and my purpose on this planet. It has helped me a lot. And I have done ayahuasca. I have done the cactus peyote. I have done mushrooms, and I'm starting to learn how to cultivate the mushrooms, and I know how to hold space and ceremonies with the mushrooms. So I've just been utilized as a way for myself to heal, but also I want to hold space and ceremony for others to heal, and use it in a sacred way so we can ascend our consciousness, because it does help to ascend our consciousness to a higher level.
So with the shrooms, I'm one to do my research before I do stuff as well. And even along my own journey, like you said, the shrooms came up, never was really something that called me up until recently. So with all that being said, what would you recommend for somebody who's new to the psychedelics? Would you recommend like microdosing? Would you recommend taking them at night? I've also heard it's nice it's almost like drawing on a chalkboard. You need something like a black background to really see the full visuals and get the full effect. So what would be your recommendation on that?
Yes. Well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to one of my elders. His name is Baba Hank Rosin's son out of New York, and he was the one. Yeah, he was the one that introduced me to the psychedelics. I actually saw him on the tape of Bobby Hemmitt's, and then from there I went into his information, and then going upon his information, then I ran into another elder, and he recently transitioned. His name is Baba Kalindi, IE. I don't know if y'all know about Baba Kalindi, but he was one of the most profound people on the planet speaking about the mushrooms. And I would say that if anybody wants to learn more about the mushrooms, definitely tap into his information. And I tapped into his information, and I actually went to a psychedelic conference out in Detroit last year, and it was a divine experience. I had a lot of information that was sharing. So I would say that for me, I would get the information first the best way I could, and then from there, I would take a little bit, just a small amount, just to get a relationship with the mushroom, because you want to get a relationship with these plant teachers. You don't want to take them and just overindulge yourself with them if you don't know what the experience might be. So I definitely would say, like you said, microdose, just to get a relationship with the plant teacher. And then from there, after you microdose, take maybe up to like 1 gram at a time, and 1 gram enough is something to have an out-of-body experience for some. But, you just take your 1 gram, you know what I'm saying, and have your experience. And then from there, whatever information you get, definitely receive that first and work on that, you know what I'm saying, the best way you can. It don't got to be something you do overnight, but just to start to, embrace whatever information that you got from your first experience. And then the more you embrace these things and start to heal, the more that you'll be able to dive deeper with the medicine, because there's no limits when it comes to working with the medicine. A lot of people said that they think that these medicines will help extend the ancestors from the past, from like Kemet and all these other civilizations, where we have these ancient remnants of all these great civilizations. Don't nobody really know where the people went to, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people think that they ascended to a higher plane by working with these plant teachers. So just take them, gram by gram. And like you said, in the dark places is really good. The darkness is where we're born at. The darkness is where everything creation comes from. So when you go into that dark place, you will go into yourself, like more in a cocoon, like an embryonic state. And then from there, you can go deep into, your past lives. You can go deep into, your future, or you can be very present with, the now, and get some downloads about what's going on the earth right now. So I would say just treat it very sacred. Don't, play with it as far as like something to do recreationally. You can, but once you get a better relationship with it, what I'm saying, you can go out in public and, do it with other people. But I would say do it in your own private space, do it in a private nature space if you can for the first couple times. And once you get a relationship with it, then experiment with it with other people, because it's very energetically sacred to use as medicine. And once your energy is out there and you don't know how to control it, maybe it's hard for you to pick up other people's energies and be able to receive it. So definitely just treat it sacred, and everything will be good. Yeah.
Cool. And I was gonna say one more master teacher I wanted to piggyback off of that you said was a KT the arts degree.
Yes.
I actually saw a very good episode that he did on I think it was just psychedelics in general, but he touched on a bunch, and all being plant-based medicines. And I mean, this is even including like coca leaves. Like people always think of cocaine being like this powder, but he was just talking about people like even in Colombia just chewing on the leaves and the type of medicinal healing that they were getting even from that. So one more for the audience to check out, KT the arts degree.
Thanks.
Hey, Parallel Podcast listeners. If you're looking to learn more about building a strong mindset and deepening your meditation practice, join Makita every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time live on Instagram for Makita's meditation and mindset tips. You can also schedule a free consult by visiting the link in her Instagram bio at Makita Smiles. And for all things health and wellness, check out Blair's site, 3layerswellness.com, for products, services, and resources. And if you're looking to establish or enhance your business online presence, don't forget to check out thebonafideagency.com for assistance with websites, logos, graphic designs, and more. You can find all of this information in the show notes as well.
Yeah, I met the brother KT at the psychedelic conference. He shared a lot of information. He's very tapped in with the plant medicine.
When was the last time they held the psychedelic conference? Have they brought it back yet?
No, last time they did it was in 2020, but they do it every 2 years in Detroit.
Oh.
You know what? Tap in next year.
Yeah. I feel like there's something really special about Detroit, because I've been meeting a lot of people from Detroit. I keep hearing things here and there. I've never been there. And also the media that we get about Detroit is more often negative,
Right. Detroit is a very powerful vortex where our people were very centered at. We had a lot of Black-owned businesses, a lot of independence out there in Detroit. And I believe that a lot of people saw that, who was against that, and broke that down. And now you can see the city is very much, it's kind of destroyed. It's a lot of places that's buildings that's not, up and structured, businesses that's not up and, running. But the people there are beautiful people, got a lot of love for our people out there. And yeah, if you ever get a chance to visit, please do it. It's a cultural hub for our people.
For sure.
Definitely will. Definitely. And even being in Oakland, I mean, that's a hub, where the Black Panthers were. Do you see, is that culture still alive there? Like, is there any remnants of it, or has it been wiped?
It's remnants of it, but it has been gentrified, as far as this Oakland in general. It's our people are there, but we could be a lot more closer. It's still culture there, Lake Merritt is a place you can always go for a drum circle and always go for a good vibe. Something like Lemerritt Park out here. Berkeley, they have a big flea market that they do every weekend. That's real nice, where you can always find culture at. And it's a lot of Black-owned businesses out there too. But I will say that that presence is starting to spark back up, because a lot of our people are coming more into independence and solidarity, and want to do these work. So yeah, I'm happy to be a part of the resurgence.
And when Nipsey was killed, I felt like that was a big kind of catalyst for this consciousness. But you see this shift happening where there is, what evidence do you see? What do you kind of project for our future?
Yeah, I did see that when Nipsey transitioned, that it was a big spark for the consciousness and awareness, on the planet. And I see that for the future, our people are being more aware of financial security is very important. A lot of our people into crypto currency and trading right now. And we're starting to get more into independent business. So I think that's a good step. I think the next step for our people is to be aware of our different enemies out here, and to strategize on coming more closer together and more tight knit with everything that we're doing. And I think that's going to help us to establish a lot more outside of just business. Like we can establish more families. The Black family is starting to come back on the rise. Where, the Black man and woman and child are starting to be in importance again, which is very important because that's the creation of civilization is the Black man and woman. So, Black relationships have to come back together. A lot of ancestral trauma and healing needs to be done with a lot of our families out here in America are dysfunctional. We don't communicate. We don't really uplift and uphold each other. So, that needs to come back stronger. And just a sense of pride of being who we are, knowledge of self is just something that we all need together as a collective more deeper. And once we get a deeper sense of who we are, I think we'll be proud to do the work out here. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. And go ahead, Mikhael.
I was just saying that's why I'm so grateful that you are doing the healing works, because it's like until we can heal ourselves, we don't even think to take those next steps to build our family. We have to start with healing thyself. And our healers are so important right now. Like, yeah, we can have people can teach us about crypto and getting financially stable and teach us about how to come together in our relationships, but we need that healing to like uplift that veil that's been, laid over us. So again, much gratitude.
For sure. And even piggybacking off both of you, the awareness and developing the awareness and being able to meditate on these things, that's a key right now. So Mikhael, what would you say for somebody who's trying to get into meditating? How would you tell them to meditate? Are there any tips that you can give? And I mean, we've talked about it a few episodes, but just from your perspective, what's the best way to get into a good meditative state and be able to get these downloads?
Yes. Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm not the best traditional meditator. Like as far as like, the sitting and being in one position and just being able to tap in and meditate. I have got better at it. But I would say for anybody who wants to get deeper into meditation, to get deeper into things and activities that give you peace, that give you stillness within yourself. By any chance, can y'all hear me? It's difficult to hear me right now. Just people with this wind blowing in the background. Can y'all still hear me? Cool.
Yeah, it's not as good, but I think it's trying to pick up on both sounds, but we can still hear you.
Okay, for sure. Well, I was just gonna say that a lot of people think of meditation as something that you have to just sit in one position and be very still, and that is true. That is, I guess, the best way to meditate. But whatever way you can still your mind, that's a meditation. So, for me, when I first tried to meditate, I try to sit there and meditate, but I had so many thoughts on my mind. I'm like, this is not helping me. So I was like, well, what can I do to meditate? And so I know that I love music, and I know that music is something that really helps to motivate me in life. So I started to listen to music more as I meditated, and as I listened to music when I meditated, I noticed that it was easier for me to still my mind because I would listen to the words of the song and it would send me to a place that was outside of myself at that moment. So as I started listening to the music, meditating, and using that as a tool to meditate, then I was like, well, what other ways can I meditate, that things that I like to do that can help still my mind? So like I said, I played sports and basketball majority of my life. So I thought about, I was like, okay, well, that's my meditation right there too, and I thought about other things I like to do. I like to cook, I cook a lot of food. So I use food as a meditation, and these are different activities that I do, and when I do them, my mind is not in that moment at the time. You know, my mind is somewhere else. My mind is able to think outside of myself at that moment. So I think that's what meditation is for anybody. Some people like to do art. You know, I have a lot of artist friends who do art. They say that that's their meditation right there. I have some different people who use sound bowls. You know, I use sound bowls at times when I want to still my mind and meditate. You got some people who use guided meditation where they use other people's voices and other people's direction for their meditation. So that's another good meditation. But whatever way that you feel like you can still your mind outside of yourself, even running, you know what I'm saying? You know, is another meditation, you know, for a lot of people. So whatever that is, and then once you find that meditation for you, that meditation will help you lead to the more physical sitting down and being still type of meditation over time. And then once you master that, whatever you can do to meditate, you tap in, you know?
Beautiful.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up too, because like you said, it's not just sitting down and in silence and closing your eyes. You mentioned one for me that I didn't realize was so meditative, but hooping. I didn't realize how much I'd be outside of myself when I'm playing basketball or just shooting. And you mentioned art. Another one is like lifting weights. If people like to exercise, like using your body and being able to be fully present in what you're doing can be in a number of different ways. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Sure. And more recently, I got a good brother of mine. He's a Tai Chi master. He's been doing Tai Chi for the last 20 years. And like you said, body movement, yoga is another great meditation. Qigong.
Yoga, Qigong. Yep.
You know, so, you know, body movement is very important. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? And water, you know, if you can get by nature, you know, and that's a meditation on itself because,
For
you know,
sure.
the elements around you help to still your mind. So yeah, those are all great things.
For sure.
With Tai Chi, so I guess like with meditation, you're more so focused on like maybe channeling the energies within you. And then with Tai Chi, isn't it more you're working with the energy around you? Are you trying to channel stuff during Tai Chi?
I think it's a little bit of both. So from my understanding, we all have chi in our body, you know, and we all have different meridians and energy centers in our body. So when we do Tai Chi, it helps to open up different centers in our body so that the energy can flow and move because a lot of health and a lot of ailments come from stagnant energy in different places in our body a lot of times. So when we move our body and move the energy, this can help us heal ourselves, help keep our energy clear and not stagnant, but also, like you said, now we can pull the energy, the chi from the elements and environments we have. So if you're in a nice natural environment, just by you being in that space, you're going to pick up on the chi and the prana of that area. And then also a lot of exercises with qigong, you raise your arms to the sun to pick up that solar charge and that solar chi energy and bring it into your body. And then we do exercises on grounding the earth or imagining your feet are grounding all the way to the center of the earth, and you're helping to ground yourself to the earth. So a lot of it is visualization too as well, visualizing different elements and working with the different elements. And then the breath too as well. The breath is very important as far as when you make any kind of body movement, breathing in and breathing out externally, doing different movements is going to help the energy move, and it's going to help the body to be still in that peace too.
Beautiful. And you said visualization, which I never knew until I started doing hypnotherapy, that there's some people who are visualizers and some people who aren't visualizers. So one person can say, imagine a chair, and they actually see a chair in their mind. And other people, it's more like they're thinking of seeing a chair. Do you feel like your ability, and visualization obviously is so important for manifestation and all these healing practices, whether you're trying to manifest healing or manifest something more material. Do you feel like your ability to visualize got stronger once you started using plant medicine?
I think it has, yeah. One of my nicknames growing up playing basketball was Magic. And, you know, I always ran with that as far as, you know, working my magic, you know, and part of my magic is, like you said, visualization, visualizing and seeing what I want and knowing it's there, knowing it's going to happen and just moving with it, you know, and keeping that faith until it happens. So that's a great part of visualization, but also visualizing a future for yourself, you know, doing more of a kind of like a thing for your destiny. Like if you see yourself somewhere and you have a timeline of the way you want to go about doing it, like actually seeing that happening in your mind, being a part of those actions. And over time, maybe these things might come into your dreams. Maybe these things will start coming to your life, or a deja vu right in front of you. And you're like, wow, like, and whatever we speak, whatever we see, where we put our attention to, that's what you're usually going to manifest for. So I think all of us have that power, but we have to get more creative with it. And the plant medicine does open up your, some people call it third eye, your first eye, your
First eye.
pineal gland, but it taps into your spiritual awareness, to where now that you have a more of a deeper sense of self, then you can go ahead and visualize a lot more.
Mm-hmm. And I would say, and I feel like some people might be like, well, I can't visualize. And I would say most of us, well, those who haven't healed, we're sitting there visualizing negative things. Like we're thinking about the worst case scenario. So you know how to visualize. It's just that you're visualizing the wrong things. And through meditation, you can have a greater level of control over what you're visualizing. That way it can be directed towards what you actually want to welcome into your life.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. So I know you spoke about the Black family. Where are you in your stage of, creating your own family?
Right now, I'm in a stage of still developing my family. I'm 34 years old, and I don't have any children right now. I'm not married. I have worked on building partnerships in the past for family, but it hasn't necessarily worked out as far as right now. But I'm keeping faith that everything's going to be good, and that I'm doing my work that I need to do for myself to heal, and for my family and for my community. And with me doing that work, then I'll attract that right partner to me. But I know that the Black family is very important. I grew up in a dysfunctional family. My mom and dad separated when I was young. And so I have been raised by a single mother. So I see the importance of, the Black man and Black woman coming together to raise family and raise our children, so we can all be in a more better, healthy state. And so, I'm working on it though.
Okay.
I should.
You might be watching this episode.
Okay, for sure.
What role do you feel like women can play in helping men heal or become their optimal self?
I truly believe that women can help uplift men by speaking life into men, by being in a positive space with men, and also to just to be open to different ways and conditions outside of this Western society. It's a lot of conditions with man and woman where the man is supposed to be providing all these things to the woman, and the woman is supposed to maybe do all these things for the man. Like these different roles and gender roles that we have, I think they're kind of backwards. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I think man and woman are both equally and divine in the same way, but we all have our different strengths and weaknesses as we are designed as man and woman. We all have masculine and feminine in us. And so I think that the Black woman can help the Black man uplift his feminine side a lot more. You know what I'm saying? So brothers can be more balanced with our emotions, and we can actually speak and have more conversations without it being anger and arguments and fighting amongst each other. And I think that brothers in our end, we can protect and uplift the Black woman more too. Like, doing our part to be providers, but also to be healers for our sisters. A lot of our sisters been through a lot of pain and trauma, and most of it been through Black men, honestly, from family members to relationship, father issues and stuff like that. So we have to be mindful of these things as we speaking to our sisters, and be very compassionate, and just have compassion for each other. We all been through a lot out here in America. It's been a lot put against us with being in relationships with each other, and I just want to uplift the Black man and Black woman to come together as equal, as partners, and be present and love with each other. We don't have to compete with each other no more. It's been too much competition with finances and money and material things of that nature. Like, we get rid of all that stuff and just come with love and compassion, in peace, then we can be able to build pyramids again.
Yay.
Hey man, I'm just over here just like, yeah, that's what I be saying. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I think this is just kind of answering Makita's question, just women being a source of peace. Like you said, is being able to uplift each other, providing inspiration for each other to keep getting better each day. And then even what you said, just coming together more from just our overall community of people. We got to realize who the real enemies are. It's not each other.
Right.
And the more we can start to collaborate and come together, we will definitely see some shifts in how we're treated and how we're viewed on a global scale.
Thanks. Yes.
I appreciate that. Thank you. So speaking of the enemy, what do you what's your current thoughts on the state of America? Yeah.
No, go. You had some more to say? I'm sorry. I didn't want to take
No, this is go from that. Let's go from that.
Okay. Our current state of America, and like like enemies. You saying basically?
Yeah, like what's your perception of America as a whole? Is it for you? Is it what do you feel like needs to be done or whatever?
That's a I guess a touchy subject.
If you want to answer the question.
No, I answer the question. I answer the question.
He said that's a loaded question, man.
Yeah. But America, I think America is at war with itself right now. More like a civil war right now in America, and from propaganda and from media, we kind of been taught that America has all these other enemies outside of ourselves. Even when we talking about right now, there's different wars on with Palestine and things that have been going on for some time. But if you really look at America, America's been at war with itself as far as all these messed up conditions that we are in. We're killing ourselves every day out here in America. You know what I'm saying? And us being more aware of it now, we're all trying to figure out like, damn, well, what can we do? Like, we're not really welcome and honored in a lot of places in America and other places, and cause a lot of war. Now, when I say America, I'm just saying the title of America and I guess the people who are in America, but I always felt like I wasn't really American. You know what I'm saying? I'm natural, I'm indigenous, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the whole thing that's coming back to our people in America, us claiming our nationality. You know what I'm saying? Because Black and Negro and color is a legal term that's against us. You know what I'm saying? And they're using that to target us in many different ways. And as we start to come more into awareness of our indigenous and national culture, then we're going to see that we've been playing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We haven't been claiming nothing, and we haven't been operating as a nation. So I feel like America elite, the people who are running America, they know this. You know what I'm saying?
They definitely know who we are.
You know what I'm saying? And when I say America elite, it's a lot of names that are not being mentioned out here as far as who our true enemies is. But we do have these elite royal families that's on the planet who've been a part of a bloodline that's been causing a lot of chaos and destruction on the planet for a very long time. And this bloodline that these people come from is not of a bloodline of source that come from this planet. And we actually don't come from this planet. You know what I'm saying? We have a different bloodline that comes from another star system far, far away. But we came down here some time ago and created home and peace down here. And that natural order over time has been manipulated by some other beings that are very intelligent beings that's on the planet too as well. So it's a lot of stuff that's going on the planet that's been hidden for a very long time, as far as different races and civilizations of other beings who live on the planet, who are part of the manipulation of the planet, who control the masses of people on the planet. So a lot of these things are starting to be revealed, but to say the least of all that is that once we get ourselves together in America out here, who we are, then the world's gonna recognize who we are. And then when the world recognizes who we are, then things are gonna start to shift and change, where the planet is gonna have to operate in a whole different capacity. And when the planet operates at the capacity that it needs to, then I believe that it's going to be a shift, like a major shift, where things are going to start running back how it used to be with the high advanced technology, with the life forms that coming together and living more in peace and harmony. But also, it's going to be a time where there's going to be a lot of confusion. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what we're moving towards, where things are going to be confusing, and out of chaos is going to come peace and order. You know?
Is that going to be in our lifetime?
You said it's going to be in our lifetime?
You think that's going to be in our lifetime?
I say yes, because we live in all lifetimes. You know what I'm saying? Once we transition, you know, we still, our spirit and our energy is still here. And if we choose to reincarnate, we can reincarnate back down here. But I believe we'll be a part of it. Like our energy will be a part of it. It may not be in our physical lifetime, but I'm looking forward to seeing the shift and change when it does happen.
Me too. I'm ready.
Facts. Facts. One thing you mentioned was your indigenous Aboriginal background, and I know that's one thing I've been knee deep in, finding my own roots over these last few years. Have you been able to tap in and kind of see where or what tribe you came from, and where your family may have originated from out of this land, which for me, America is North America, is Canada, is Central America, is South America. Right. Like, that's such a broad term, but this was a land of thousands of nations when we had settlers come in and disrupt things. So with his story and skewing and erasing our past, have you been able to recollect and come across any of your stuff?
Yeah, I have been, brother. Over my journey over the last couple of years, I've been studying a lot of Moor science, and as I was studying the Moor science, it was giving me a different sense of us people out here in America. We're very special because we have a mix of all different bloodlines from all over the planet. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people migrated here to America throughout the years from all over the diasporas, and created and made life with many different melanated people, you know, in America. So out here in America, we have a very special bloodline where most of us have a bloodline that comes from America. Most of us have a bloodline that comes from Africa, but most of us also have a bloodline that's an Asiatic and indigenous bloodline coming from the Caribbean islands and all over the planet. Yeah. So when I started studying more science, I got that sense of, you know, that coming from out of Spain and coming from out of that Europe. But when I started looking into my own personal family story, and that's something that is we all can do to start where we come from, see where your family originated from in America. It's a good way to figure out where your bloodline comes from. A lot of us, if we came from a certain place in America, we came from a certain indigenous tribe from that area. So my family originates from Georgia and Atlanta, and also from Florida, where my mother and father family line originally from. And so I know that the Seminoles, and I know that the Washita Nation was in more of the Florida Keys in that area, but also in Georgia there was more of the Cherokees, and those were connected more with the Olmec civilization that was more part of the whole northern region of America. The Olmec people were part of Mexico, America, even went up to like more of the Pacific Islands. So once I figured out, like, wow, you know, we have a whole civilization of people that came to America, but we got some civilization of people that was already in America. Right. So I'm like, okay, well, that means that I come from America for sure, but that means that also I migrated here and I have a bloodline from somewhere else. And when I started to do that research, also a lot of spiritual things started coming to me. I started meeting and coming across people from all over the world, and when I came across them, they were like, you look like me, or you look like you come from where I'm from. So Senegal, you know, been running to people in Senegal for the last 5 years, and they all, you know, say that, you know, I have a bloodline from Senegal. Ghana, I went to Ghana in 2019. As soon as I got to Ghana, everybody thought I was from there. And West Africa is one of the places that we came to from the Americas and through slavery. You know what I'm saying? So I know I have a bloodline from there. And then I'm still doing my ancestry from more of my indigenous bloodlines coming from the Caribbean islands, because I have my grandfather I never met, but he was from Cuba. and my grandmother was from Haiti. So I'm just putting these pieces together. But as a whole, right now, I'm claiming all the world and all the bloodlines and all everything, because that's where we are. And if you go any of these places to travel as a melanated person, the more you travel, the more you will see that when you go there, they got statues, they got information, they got the indigenous people who actually from there that look just like you.
Mm.
That's a fact. I went to Dominican Republic 2 years ago, I guess. And like you said, as soon as getting there, people speaking Spanish to me and thinking I'm Dominican or whatever. So like you said, it's definitely ties in the narrative of the slave trade, it all being from Africa. That's definitely false. Like it was definitely a lot of transit from our eastern coast to the Caribbean and transporting some of their captives from the Caribbean up here. From some of the research I've been privy to, but man, like you said, we're a nation of people who I like to call us copper colored. I'm not a fan of the term black, but us copper colored individuals are everywhere and have been at the foundation of every civilization on every continent. So it's interesting to see, and I think too, people got to put into context of what's still going on today. We look at 1492 and all of these dates that they give us with Columbus and stuff coming over here and quote unquote discovering and all of this mess. But we've been here. We've been here. So again, I encourage everybody to look deeper into their actual roots, where they come from, and knowing self is such a powerful thing. I can't even put it into words. How it's changed my perception of myself and how I operate on a daily basis.
Yeah, you when you know where you come from, like that's been one of the major contributors to my confidence gain over the past couple of years. And once I started looking into my family history or acknowledging ancestors, like I haven't, really done the research, but just acknowledging the people who I came from when I actually started, researching ancient Kemet and learning about the different Orishas. And like now I bring that energy with me when I enter a room. So it's like, knowing your history is so important. I know we hated it when we were in school, but it's everything, we need to know what powers are working with what we're coming from. So
I think the reason we may have disliked it in school is because it was their story. It wasn't our real story. So I think now that I've been coming across more of my real story and real history, it's captivating. Like it makes you want to dive even deeper. And like Mikhael said, even learning about the Asiatic piece of it, that was new to me. So I mean, it's a bunch of facets to who we are. And the enemy definitely knows who we are. They know us better than we collectively know ourselves, which is definitely an issue.
Exciting times, very exciting times that we're in,
For sure.
And so we are coming up on our hour, which I know we could talk all day. We're definitely going to take that trip up to Oakland, see your crew.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I got a whole crew out in Oakland. I'm a part of a collective called Raw Soul Collective, and we're all artists. We're all into health and wellness, and yeah, they're spreading good vibes. So sorry about that. But yeah, we'll love to connect. I'm actually gonna be planning on coming back out here soon. Probably go up to the Merritt Park one of the weekends and go out there and vibe and with the collective. Probably set up. We got a lot of products and services that we offer. So come up and set up and maybe even perform, and do some music.
Are you a musician?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a emerging musician. Yep.
Beautiful.
Dope. Definitely dope.
Beautiful. I believe one day I'm gonna be a singer. I just gotta learn how to sing first, but
You got it.
For sure. Well, brother, we will definitely connect offline.
Yeah,
we got a lot of stuff we can chat about, so
indeed.
we'll connect.
For sure.
But
I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. And I was gonna say, in the meantime, again, we appreciate you coming on the show and with everything that you share with us and our guests. And if we can be of any assistance to you or any help for you and your businesses, please let us know. And please let the people know where they can find you as well.
Oh, give thanks. Yes. You can find me online on IG. My personal page is Magic. It's spelled Magik. Elbey, Elbey. That's my personal page. But if you want to find my business page, it's called Exclusive Magic. It's a crystal health service product business, and also we have indigenous and spiritual clothing, and that's spelled XKLUSIVEMAGIK. Exclusive Magic number 33 at Instagram. And also Black Sea Cuisine is my other handle. It's spelled BlackSeedCuisine. Black Sea Cuisine. And you can find me on Instagram and also on Facebook too. We do alkaline plant-based catering and events. So if you're interested and you're in Oakland or in California, we can connect with you on that service as well.
Oh,
I can taste that food now.
sounds
It's pretty
amazing
good.
for sure.
Beautiful. And
Well,
we'll put all of that in the show notes, so definitely check that out. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, from one entrepreneur and mogul to another, I salute you on the journey and keep moving forward, my brother.
Thank you. I appreciate both my like-minded divine reflections. I look forward to seeing this podcast soon and checking out. It sounds like it would be pretty nice. And yeah, I look forward to the work y'all doing and connecting with y'all again soon.
Awesome. We appreciate it.
All right, much love.
All right, Parallel Podcast listeners, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. Connect with us if you like the shirts, or connect with our special guests here. We'll put all the information in the show notes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace and love.
Bye.
Peace.